Hey, you want to hear something creepy? This is like a dating creepy story. And the boyfriend of the woman admitted this when he was kind of loose and limber, meaning he was
You tied one on, had a couple of drinks.
little drunk. But what would you do? Michelle, listen to this. There's no need to shush me here.
I'm listening.
What if you were dating a guy and you were dating him for a while, and one night when he was just loose and he was liquored up and he was just kind of speaking freely without a filter, alcohol has a tendency to do that to people. And what if he admitted that he creepily, watched you, followed you, kind of stalked you for a little bit before you actually met? What if that was admitted? So you're dating a guy, and then he says, oh, by the way, he's all liquored up, and, hey, I kind of watched you for a while, and...
That's not flattering.
Yeah. So,
no, I'm out. Done. Gone. Bye.
Well, that's the point. That's the question here. So the boyfriend...
how committed are they? Are they like a week and a half into this? Or they've been dating for 2 years where they're, pretty well invested, and he goes, hey, before we met, I kind of followed you around to get to know you a little better.
No, still.
Do you know what the term meet cute is? So this is a term, and a lot of people know what it is. I'm sure there are plenty that don't know it. But the term meet cute, this is sort of a thing going around, and there are discussions, and there are Reddit subs on this deal.
What kind of meat? M-E-A-T or
M-E-E-T? No, for you, it's always going to be M-E-A-T, and it's going to be, medium rare with a nice char on the outside.
Listen, I think there's
some garlic butter.
There's two potentially completely different definitions.
This is not meat as in carnivore. This is meat as in M-E-E-T, as in you meet somebody.
Because, it would be fun and cute to meet me, but my meat is really cute. You know what I mean?
We stop it. Oh, that's
not fielding many complaints, if you know what I mean.
That is such cute meat. All right, so meet cute
it's adorable.
Is how two people actually meet. When they, finally end up dating. What was the first real encounter? So that's the meet cute, is really the first meeting. Well, this person posted this creepy story on the Reddit subreddit True Off My Chest. And it looks like it was removed by moderators. Some of the excerpts of the original posting are still available, and that's what I actually saw. I didn't see the original posting. But you know that Netflix series You?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, Michelle, we watched, season 1 and season 2 of You?
Yeah, I don't know.
But isn't there like a season 3 or 4?
We're a little behind on that one.
Yeah, we're behind on You, but, man, that guy was a creepatola.
Yeah, he's totally creepy. He plays that role so well.
Oh, a very, very creepy guy on the TV series You. And this woman posts the story that her boyfriend drunkenly admitted, could you believe we wouldn't be this happy if I hadn't watched you for so long? Oh my God. So the guy apparently was creepily stalking her, watching you for so long. What happens if you think you found the guy and then he admits that he had creeped out on you and stalked you?
In that moment, you realize he is not the guy. Because here's the thing. If he's that weird, I feel like that's kind of a precursor to some kind of a weird control and possession later on down the road, right?
I don't know. How long have they been together? I mean, listen, everybody meets somehow. Have you ever met somebody that you wanted to meet and you tried to put yourself in a position to meet that person?
Yes, me. Just kidding.
No, that is not true. I met you one night and I had never seen you before ever in my life.
Totally introduced us.
No, right. This is a guy that apparently set sights and would watch and follow and, semi-stalk, and then finally.
I mean, let me just say, like when I was a teller at Navy Federal Credit Union, you know, we dealt with a lot of, customers, and so many of them were men, right? Because it was dealing with mostly military men.
Yep.
And we did not leave the branches, alone. Like none of us ever walked out by ourselves.
Really?
And yeah, it was kind of a rule. And we did have guys who, because we had a hot teller line. I mean, we were known for that, right? Like guys would come in there, they liked
the hot.
Yeah.
The smoking hot teller line
Yeah.
at Navy Federal Credit Union in Virginia Beach on Lynn Haven Parkway back in the day.
Oh, did they use like bank-related sexual come-ons? Like,
No.
I'd like to make a deposit in your account.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God, Festa, that's grotesque.
Yeah.
I'd like to make
What's the matter?
I'd like to make a withdrawal from my pants.
But we did.
That's
But we did have a lot of-
That's my method, the withdrawal method.
Yeah. We did have a lot of single gentlemen who
I
would
call
come in
this
there.
my IRA. It grows 10% a year.
Festa, shut up.
And so they pursued us, and I think what is a normal fashion, right? Like sometimes that guy would wait because he wanted you to be his teller that day, and it kind of became a little bit of a joke sometimes.
You know what?
But,
You can't spell chlamydia without CD.
I'll take two.
All right, go ahead, Michelle. Sorry.
but that's kind of normal, like in that scenario. But if the guy
You guys
were
sell government bondages?
All right, Festa,
Government bonds, huh?
just stop.
Government bonds are a sound
Stop.
investment right now.
Stop.
yeah.
Just saying.
Bonds.
It's a sound small.
Bonds suck.
It's a small conservative investment.
Bond market is a dumpster fire.
Listen, in the 3-month term.
Maybe short term
yeah,
bonds,
it's not- it's not-
all right, go ahead, Michelle.
But I think in that environment, right, it was okay. Like we all felt comfortable. It was a public place, and like I said, nobody was following anybody home. But if one of them had started following somebody home or been a little more creepy about it, I have no doubt my supervisor would have done something, and we would have been like, no, thank you.
But
That's
you used
just
to
not
tell
normal.
You told me on numerous occasions the guys that would try to hit on you at Navy Federal.
Yeah, but
that's normal.
But I had a buddy who was like the second assistant manager of the produce department at Publix, and he would say they had a cashier walkout program where they would walk, the female cashiers would walk out as a group, and there was always one or two men with them.
That makes sense.
So it was a large group because they usually park in the back end of the parking lot.
And think about it. At Publix, similar to being a teller, right? You're trying to be personable and interact with the person and be very friendly. And sometimes people just get the wrong cues.
Yeah.
And you have to protect your employees like that. But if that guy ends up in the back following the cashier out, Publix is calling the cops.
Hey, you might remember me. You asked me if I wanted paper or plastic, and you asked me if I found everything okay. And I just want you to know, you want to go get crazy.
No. It's over.
Let me roll out. Well, wait a sec. You thought it was over with just that portion. Wait, there's more. So you're dating this guy, boyfriend, and then one night when he's drunk, he admits that, could you believe that we could be this happy if I hadn't watched you for so long? So first of all, that'll awaken you from any alcohol-related stupor that you might be in. That'll wake you right up. So the boyfriend revealed that when he first saw her, did not immediately introduce himself, which would be the normal thing to do, but he quietly observed her, according to the Reddit post, listened in on her conversations with friends, followed her, actually made notes about what she liked, what she didn't like, observed her personality, and then finally made like this plan to like bump into her at a coffee shop that he liked. So had everything kind of pre-planned and laid out, and then bumped into her in quotes, but not really, because he knew her patterns, her habits, where she liked to go. And then that's how he wormed his way in and then finally admitted the creepiness. So,
See, you're calling it creepy.
wow. Yeah, well, you called it creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's just a man who's persistent in finding love.
What if this extends further into the relationship and he starts putting nanny cams around the house, or putting a tracker on her car,
Or what if he
putting
just
a
wanted
recorder
to-
in her car to see who she's talking to?
What if he just wanted to meet somebody and get a little background information? What if he's a good researcher?
Oh, he's not writing a report, Fester.
Let me grab, before I move on, let me grab one call. Joe in Apollo Beach has phoned in to the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Joe, you're up.
hey, I think we got a double standard here.
All right.
So my wife, before we actually met in person, being a girl, obviously, we met online, and I told her I was going out with friends a couple times to some places, and she got with her girlfriends, and she went out to the same places that I was at, kind of check me out and see if I was okay and see if I was safe. So is it okay for a girl to do it if she's checking out the guy to make sure he's safe?
You know what? Listen.
The guy does it.
All right, listen. Point well taken, Joe. And you can have the female stalker like what was it, the rabbit, the bunny boiling on the stove?
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Listen, that can certainly happen. But I just think that, and I'm a guy saying this, that it just seems to be inherently more creepy when a guy does something than a woman.
It's creepy as you perceive it. You know?
But
I don't know.
but listen, I'm actually ratifying somewhat of a double standard.
It's only creepy if you think it's creepy.
I think it's a pretty solid double standard. I mean, both a guy or a girl can get pretty creepy if they start stalking people.
Okay, but Joe,
double standard there.
Joe, yours was just kind of a one-off, right? She didn't like stalk you thereafter, follow you home to see what kind of house you have or car you're driving or, you know, whatever. Like a one-off just to say like, hey, man, I connected with this guy on, I don't know, what is it, Tinder or something. And he said he's going out to, I don't know, what's that, some bar out there in Brandon, you know, with his friends.
Let's Brandon bar.
Yeah, let's go take a look and see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, that's a one-off.
All right, Joe just dropped. But, hey, Joe, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. You like the video? If so, go ahead and click like, share, subscribe, and get more.